Hello, math friends. Today we're going to talk about functions. How do you function? I invited my friend Function Machine along, and I have a fun little cartoon that talks exactly about function notation. It really is just a fancy way of writing y. So we're used to saying y equals 2x minus 8, but now we use this fancy notation of f of x. It really means the same thing. There's two different types of questions that you might get asked when you're dealing with function notation. You might get asked to find f of -5, which means, hey, let x, because remember, what's inside the parentheses is the x, let x equal -5 and solve. Or you might get one where it says find when f of x, the whole big thing, equals 10, which would mean replace really the y or the f of x with a 10. So we're going to solve each type so you see the different ways it could work. So if I have find f of -5, I'm going to say, hey, that's equal to 2 times, instead of my x, because now my x is -5, I'm going to write -5 minus 8. Now I solve. 2 times -5 is -10. Minus 8, I go stop, chop, chop, and I get a -18. So f of -5 is equal to 18. It's really about plugging a value in for the variable. If I want to find x when f of x is equal to 10, now if I write my function, I'm going to replace the whole f of x with a 10. And I'm going to solve for my x. So now I just use my good equation solving skills using my inverse operations. I'm going to get 18 equals 2x. I divide by 2. And I find out that, hey, in this case, x would equal 9. When f of x is 10, x is equal to 9. So solving a function two different ways. One, I'm trying to solve for x, and one, I'm trying to solve for f of x. So just recognizing that notation. Now let's look at it in the real world where functions exist. It might be in a problem like this. We're going to Valley Fair! Woo! This right here, that is my kid's favorite ride. It makes me feel like I'm going to throw up every time. My husband and I have to do rock, paper, scissors to decide who has to ride that ride. This ride over here, Wild Thing, woo, 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 that's my favorite ride. Love it. All right, back to functions. If it costs $35.99 for admission to Valley Fair, and carnival rides are $3 each, if x represents the carnival rides, write a function that represents the amount that a person could spend on admissions and games while at Valley Fair. So when I think about that, I think, well, I have to pay $35.99 to get in, no matter what. And then I have to add to that $3 for each carnival ride, but each carnival ride is going to be x. And normally I would say, hey, that's equal to y, where y is my total cost. But in this case, I want function notation. So I'm going to say $35.99 plus 3 times x. And if I want to write a function in terms of my x, I'm going to say that's equal to f of x. And there it is. Here's my function notation. Equation, old news. Function notation, new news, but really not that much more difficult. So, woo! Off to Valley Fair. I can't wait till it opens. Catch you later, friends.